Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Steve. What Steve didn't tell you was that it sort of takes a guy that marches to it other than a normal drum beat to marry a woman that's born in jail. She was. Her mother was having a few problems and she couldn't leave town, and she stayed with her relatives who were running the jail at that point in time, and she was actually born in the Coleman jail. Had to have a little fun out of it, Steve. I appreciate Steve and his two brothers and their families. They're the three sons I never had. My family's all out of state right now, so my classmates and Steve and Kay are my family in this particular area. Those who played a part in my being here tonight, I want to say a big thank you. I think there are probably others that were more, perhaps have done more to earn this than I have, but I'm honored that it's been awarded me, and I'll try not to disappoint anyone. My life's been quite a ride. Looking back at things that I experienced at an early age made a big impact, I think, on things, my thinking, the way I accomplish things later in life. My drive to reach the objective of whatever that objective might be. My first job requiring a good measure of responsibility occurred when I was about 10 years old. And Daddy handed me a .22 rifle and sent me out to herd turkey poults that we raised for the market. That was part of the family income. If you didn't have somebody out there to run the predators off, they'd die on them, and there wouldn't be anything left to sell in November time during January. My second job requiring a good measure of responsibility occurred between my sophomore and junior year in high school. Sophomore and junior year in high school. An old rancher bought a two-section ranch a few miles down the road from us. He came by the house one day and wanted me to come over and help him build a fence, build new corrals, work his cattle, drive his tractors. I went over there and started helping him. He brought the first herd of Brahma cattle into that area. If you've never worked with those, they're a little different to work with than some of the others. I've been working there a short time. He walked up to me one day and handed me the keys to his new 3/4 ton truck, the keys to the ranch house, the keys to the barn, the keys to the shop, and says, "Sir, wife and I are going up to see my son. Get the mail, put it on the deep freeze, take care of my cattle and horses, and here's the farming I'd like you to do while I'm gone. We'll be back in a week or 10 days. Here I am, 16-year-old kid, and I'm charged with a two-section ranch and no telephone, no way to contact him. Him contact me or me contact him. This went on until I graduated from Texas Tech. 1950 has already been mentioned as an eventful year. And after I graduated from Tech, 54, of course Korea was going on. Went on active duty with the Navy. My first boss was an old commander that had been a skipper of an LST in the invasion of Okinawa. And as you might imagine, he didn't take prisoners. I had a shop to run. I was a junior officer in operations. He came charging in my office one morning, all out of breath, red in the face, still had his hat on up on the second floor of the old building the Japanese had built back in the 1920s. He said, "Get your hat and go down there and sit down. Rob's chair and run the place." The old bosun saying in paperwork. Lieutenant Commander Rob was in charge of the port of Yokosuka, the biggest Navy port west of Pearl Harbor. We probably had 80 to 100 warships in port, all of them on service. Nothing left for a young guy to do except snap to attention, salute, "Aye, sir," grab your hat and start walking. I got down there and asked the old bosuns and good old man, we stayed in touch with each other until he died. This is First Commander Rob. They says they put him in the hospital. They don't know if he'll be back or if he does come back when. Looked over the stack of paper about a foot high on Rob's desk. I got two good non-coms sitting in the back. They can't handle paperwork. Both of them are 10 years older than I am. One anything to do except sit down and make a team out of it and me to handle the paperwork. They feed me the technical information and make it happen. And we did. Commander Rob showed up about 2 months later. A few days later, my old boss came to me and wanted me to go regular Navy, so I guess I didn't disappoint him too much. These 3 instances in my early working life, I think, set the stage for the rest of my time in the workforce. Every time something came along and wherever I was working that no one had ever experienced before or had never been thrown into before, I was the guy that was thrown into it to make it happen. 1964, I know some of you saw the pictures of the big vacuum chamber that was up here. 125 feet high, 60 feet in diameter, and had a 40-foot door on the side of it so they could put a space module in there and run tests on it up to about 400,000 feet. Chicago Bridge and Iron had designed and built it. They hooked up the vacuum pumps down to about a third of an atmosphere, and they looked up and they could visually see the side of the chamber moving inward from around the area where the neck was. Ultimately, they shut the thing down, repressurized it. About that time, they picked 3 of us up with a scruff of the neck in Fort Worth and shipped us to Houston and set up a special project office to rebuild it. When we got through with it, it was doubled in weight, but it worked. And we put a man on the moon in 1969 in accordance with President Kennedy's schedule. 1984, I know some of you saw the picture of that building with a lot of smoke pouring out of it. That was building 3001, Tinker Air Force Base. The building's almost a mile long, covers 51 acres. About Thanksgiving 1984, that building caught fire and it burned for 2 days and nights. Burned a third of it, 17 acres, burned out building. About the 1st of December, the Air Force came to us and said, we'd like for you to rebuild that facility, and we'd like to reoccupy it by the end of August next year. We went out and got a cost-plus fixed-fee contractor, got him on board. You go into something like that, you don't know what you're going to get into, so you can't put a clean scope of work out. Cost-plus is the only way to go. We worked 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, turned the facility over to them a few days early. That was about $50 million in construction in 1985 dollars. Today that'd be about $130 million. The last big project I worked on for the Corps of Engineers was President Reagan's Star Wars project. I got into that sort of cold turkey. My boss in Dallas came up to me and said, what are you doing next Tuesday? I said, I'm going up to Little Rock, check on some stuff. He said, why don't you go out to Livermore? I said, that's what you want me to do, I'll be happy to do it. He says, there's a briefing out there Tuesday night. Link up with so-and-so from the chief's office and so-and-so from Huntsville and make that briefing. He didn't tell me what it was about. I got out there and got in there and they shut the doors and the University of California visitors got up and started talking about it. And it became apparent that I was going to be the project manager for that Southwestern Division. Went back and had my own classified briefing of the journal and the people that needed to know, and then I helped write the request for proposals for contractors. Sat on the panel to select a contractor and was project manager until the Russians flew a satellite over and knew what we were building in that 6-mile stretch down there in the desert. That's when they imploded and we canceled the project. That was a $600 million project in 1986 dollars. A few things from these experiences come to mind that I'd like to convey, and I hope that somehow some of these points can be communicated to the students of Coleman High School. I believe that they'll prove beneficial to them somewhere down the line, regardless of what path of life they may follow. The one thing that I've used more than anything else in all the education and training that I've had is my ability to handle the English language I learned right here in Coleman High School from Mr. Drusilla Everhart, my junior and senior year in high school. Over the years, I've had a lot of employees work for me that could not write a letter. That's a problem for a manager. If you have someone that you can't give a problem to and let them go investigate the problem, come up with proposed solutions to it, defend the one that's the most logical, write their rationale for their selection of that particular project or solution, reduce it all to a short, concise paper upon which a manager can make an informed decision, they're absolutely useless to the manager. That's not only my opinion, but that was the opinion of General Eisenhower in Europe during World War II. Some of you may or may not know that he told his staff, don't bring me anything that's more than one page. If it's more than one page, you're telling me more than I need to know, or you're wasting words. I've been a registered professional engineer for 50 years, but I've never put my stamp on anything. Boss has always had me managing money and people. And I think the reason that was the way it turned out, is somewhere along the way they realized that I could handle the communications necessary with whatever it was we were doing. And I've had a lot of people work for me that were technically superior to me, but they couldn't handle the paperwork that went with it. Young people need to be given responsibilities at an early age and held accountable for their actions. When something happens, don't blame the computer, don't blame the system, don't blame somebody else. Fix the system, fix the computer, address the issue with your boss or with your employee, and fix the problem. To err is human. It's what's done to fix the problem is what makes the difference. If you don't make a mistake, you're probably not doing anything. If you make the same mistake twice, it proves you're a slow learner. Some things that young people need to understand. They deserve or are entitled to only a fair chance. The rest of it they have to work for. Somewhere down life's pathway, they may very well be thrown into a situation that they consider beyond their capability. If or when that happens, they have to understand that most of the time there's only one way out, and that's straight ahead. And failure is not an option. The way you cope with that is you find out all you can about the problem, and you make an informed decision and move on. The worst thing you can do is do nothing. Keep in mind, we're not as good as we think we are. We're only as good as our customers think we are. It's not smart to tell the boss, I can't. The boss may very well inform you, don't tell me you can't, tell me how you're going to do it. If it persists, I can't, probably the next thing out of his mouth will be, get out of the way and I'll bring somebody in who can. And I've been on a lot of projects that's the way they got finished. And finished right and finished on time. You get what you inspect, not what you expect. You can't give someone a task and forget about it. Sooner or later, that person will fail to perform the assigned task for whatever reason. And the results could be catastrophic. Let me illustrate. A few years ago, the third level walkway over a hotel lobby in Kansas City collapsed. It killed a bunch of people and hurt a bunch more. It was New Year's. All those walkways were filled with people that were swaying and bouncing to the music. The upper platform, the way it was constructed, supported the two down below. And it was not adequately designed for the way they actually built it, and overloaded it. That failure was a direct result of the failure to inspect. The workers that installed those walkways did not install them according to the design. They shortcut the work and compromised the structural integrity of all three of those walkways. Had either the customer or the contractor inspected to be sure they got what they expected, a bunch of people would be alive today and a bunch more would not have been severely injured. Never take your eye off the objective. Go under, around, through, or over, whatever gets between you and your objective. That's the way you get it done. And last but not least, when you work in the public service, always remember you live in a glass house. Never do anything which provides even a hint of an impropriety. Otherwise, you destroy your credibility and the credibility of the entity for whom you work or represent. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this honor, and have a good evening.